Imagine a corporate client pays your agency for a massive group booking. Then, overnight, the primary airline fractures and collapses into insolvency. Without verified protection protocols in place, the supplier's failure becomes your problem. Your agency absorbs the refund dispute, the compliance failure, and the immediate hit to your reputation. The modern travel ecosystem relies heavily on third-party distribution layers and white-label operations. A supplier's glossy marketing materials and verbal assurances of reliability do not equal legal accountability. Surviving this volatile market requires treating regulatory compliance as a rigid systemic shield rather than a discretionary operational task. This logical sorting matrix illustrates what inventory falls under the ATOL perimeter. Flight-inclusive bookings and package holidays route directly into the securely protected zone. But individual components like accommodation-only bookings, car rentals, and ancillary services fall completely outside that perimeter, remaining entirely unprotected. Misclassifying these components at the point of sale is the first systemic failure point in travel compliance. It leads to catastrophic false assumptions of financial protection for both you and the traveler. To validate whether a supplier is actually protected, you have to bypass their marketing entirely. The official ATOL registry serves as the absolute single source of truth for licensed travel companies. Initiating a valid lookup on this registry requires two highly specific inputs: the exact legal name of the company and their official ATOL number. This data matching logic tree shows how those inputs function. A valid query generates distinct verification notes, outputting a successful match for the registered legal entity, the active license status, and the official contact details. Taking a supplier's word for it without running this independent registry lookup introduces unacceptable financial risk directly into your booking pipeline. For an online travel agency, or OTA, processing a high volume of complex transactions, step 1 is finding out who is actually taking the money. You must bypass white-label brand names and isolate the true legal selling entity receiving the payment. If you are a tour operator dynamically packaging these components, you have to aggressively pursue the supplier's ATOL number proactively, well before anyone hits the payment button. This schematic represents a valid physical ATOL certificate, which must be issued immediately upon payment. Look at the structural callouts validating the specific passenger name, the exact flight components included, and the corresponding ATOL holder's name. If this physical document is missing, or if the details clash with the registry data, the booking possesses zero legal protection. The supplier's promises mean nothing without it. There are immediate red flags indicating a breakdown in this compliance framework. The absence of an ATOL number on a supplier's website or confirmation emails is a direct, undeniable compliance failure. Any hesitation, delay, or outright refusal by a supplier to hand over the ATOL certificate signals either gross operational inefficiency or active fraud exposure. This comparative flowchart highlights the financial warning combined with requests to route payments to unverified or personal bank accounts instantly triggers a hazard indicator. Ignoring these anomalies neutralizes your defense framework, leaving your agency's revenue stream wide open to critical failure. Performing these verification checks manually, one by one, leaves too much room for human error. Protecting a modern travel business requires building a scalable, automated compliance architecture. Modern travel ERP systems operationalize this entirely. They embed automated supplier validation directly into the booking pipeline itself. Enterprise CRM platforms can simultaneously generate real-time compliance alerts while maintaining centralized, mathematically accurate documentation trails for every transaction. At scale, manual compliance lookups are financially risky and logistically impossible. Systemic automation is mandatory. This system's architecture map visualizes that automated enterprise workflow. Data flows from inventory selection through an API registry query gateway, authorizing the check before ticket issuance. If the query comes back invalid, it triggers a systemic blockade. High-risk suppliers are blocked, removing human error. Eliminating regulatory exposure directly protects your revenue margins. It enforces strict supplier governance and builds unshakable B2B trust across all your partnerships. For scalable operations, compliance is infrastructure. Upgrade your tech stack today and book a demo to integrate seamless ATOL validation directly